This is going to be a guide about how to install mods, in particular interface mods for the PC version of Starfield using the Xbox Game Pass. Any links that you need to download, whether it's mods or the Bethany Pi, which I'm going to get into in a moment, will be in the description below. So lead on to Bethany Pi. Shout out to the creator that designed this. The reason why you want this is because it allows you to load loose files. So what you're going to want to do is actually click on manual download, download Bethany Pi, and then I'll show you what that looks like, which is here. Once you've run that executable file, you want to select your game. So in this case, it's going to be Starfield. You want to browse your game path, your ini path, which is basically your configuration path, should really already be there. Okay, so don't worry about that too much. Just make sure your game path is done. So where your game path is basically based on wherever you've installed the game. So you're going to click browse. Mine's already pre-populated with the pathway because I've already got it all set up. But essentially what you want to do is look for the correct disk drive wherever you installed the game, your Xbox games. Go into the folder where Xbox games are stored. So it's called new folder for me at this time being. Then Starfield, which is obviously the game. Then you want to click on content and make sure the folder selected is content, and that's you done. Press OK. Voila. Now next thing you do is make sure you click on load or loose file. So that needs to make sure this is ticked. Okay. Click save. Now what the save is going to do, the save is going to create a custom Starfield configuration. Okay, so that's what you need. This is where the magic starts to happen. Press yes, you're done. You're pretty much sorted essentially. Okay. Now the next bit, just to make clear, you need to create an interface folder if you do not have one already. Okay. So I repeat, please make sure you've done new folder interface. Okay. So please make sure you've created an interface folder. Because that's where all your interface mods are gonna basically reside, and I will show that in the next clip. The next step now is you want to get the mods, right? So to get the mods, again, use Nexus mods, in this case StarUI inventory. Do a manual download, then you want to open it up. So in this case, this is the manual download, right? There is 3 folders. Optional folder gives you option to select different frames settings for the game. You got 30 FPS and 120. In my case, I just stuck with a standard, which I believe is 60 FPS on the interface mod and everything. That's the stable one that I'm aware of that other users have used in the past and no issues, including myself at the moment. So we're gonna copy these 2 folders, okay, and then what you're gonna do is go into your folder where your game is installed, keyword where the game is installed. Okay, then you want to go into content again, then you want to go into data, the data folder. Now as you can see here, I've already got interface and the phone mod pasted here, but if I was to paste it again, I'm not going to do it, but you paste those 2 folders, it'll give you the relevant files needed from there. Okay, so now that's all pasted in there. That is your StarUI inventory installed essentially. Now there's other ones you can install. So for example, I did enhanced player health bar. Just to give you an idea, from Nexus mods again. But in data interface, all you want is the files. You copy those files, go into your interface folder because your folder is already created. Okay, and you paste them, as you can see here, highlighted. There's a player HUD. So in my case, the player HUD changes from white, orange to red, I believe, depending on how much health you've got. Okay, and that's your player HUD done, and that's how your interface mods are pretty much installed. All right, this is where your Starfield custom configuration settings reside. Okay, so when you use that Bethany Pi, when it came up with that information about let's see if I can run it again. This is where it saves. It saves into this particular file pathway. Okay, that's what you have to do, and that should be it. That you should be able to run interface mods on Xbox Game Pass smooth, no issues, no problems. Right, so we're just going to do a quick review on what you should be looking at once you've completed your installation for interface mods. Okay, so starting off with the left window pane, which is where the game was installed. Okay, so you should be going to content, data, and you should have two folders, your interface folder and your phone mod folder. Interface is where most of your interface mods are going to be installed. Okay, so any other outstanding mods you want to do that's to do with interface, just paste them in here. Alright, but you should have this if you're using the StarUI inventory at the very least. On the right hand side, you should only have one configuration settings present in your Starfield folder for my games. Okay, so that you'll find in your documents, my games, Starfield, and you should just have one configuration settings called Starfield custom, and that's it. If you have multiple of these, I do suggest deleting the others for the time being. From what I've tested is sometimes if you have more than one configuration settings in your Starfield folder, it might cause the game to crash, so just bear that in mind. But feel free to tinker around and correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, this is the StarUI inventory, as you can see here. Nice laid out, it's not overbearing, it's not underwhelming. Gives you exactly, you know, where most of your weight's going to be at. As you can see, I've got 126, mass at 135, so if I wanted to offload anything, I'm probably going to be looking at, for example, weapons, where I've got 25.8 mass, or I might even look at the resources to see where exactly, you know, I've got stored and holding up there. So yeah, let's give it a try, let me know how it goes.